Okay, so we are starting our stencil printing project, and I'm going to give you a quick and dirty demo. I know each of you knows how to use spray paint, but we're going to do it a specific way that really relates to silk screen, to monotype, to other kinds of prints that are made in a print studio. So let me show you what I have made so far. These are not finished. In fact, some of these I don't even really like. But what I'm asking you to do, I'll put it that way, this one I do like a lot. And this one I'm gonna do a little something too, right? Each one of these needs something, and they all have color, and I have some black and white and gray paint. So I've used the color that you have. Let's see, right here. You have this in your kit. I've used these 3 colors on each of them. And you also have this in your kit, white, gray, and black. So these ones that I already started, it's been days since I've worked on them. And the reason why I took a break is because I want these layers to dry. And I took a break in between each color. Okay, so let me show you how to set up. And then I will put a stencil down that I cut and screen and spray through it. And I know you can probably guess how to do these things, but my feeling is that it's always nice to see, so then there are no questions. It's sort of straightforward. Okay, so this is the paper that I'm going to start my image on. If I were going to use the whole page, I'm just going to use part of the page now, but if I was going to use the whole page, I'd make a little loop of tape and stick it like that. If I'm going to have a lot of the paper covered up, I'll just go ahead and tape it, sort of no muss, no fuss, tape it down. And, the reason why I'm doing this is because there may be air moving around, and I also just want to be very deliberate about what I'm doing. Okay, so this is a stencil that I cut the other day, and it's an involved stencil. It took me quite a long time to cut it, and I put a lot of my time and effort into this part of the image, because actually putting the paint down is not that complicated. So this is where I want you to spend your time, focus, and energy, and I'm using my aesthetic, and I want you to plug in yours. You may want to work abstractly. Oopsies, I've got to hide this because it's being exposed. You may not like to work abstractly like I do. And as I have mentioned to you before, I'm not showing you a style. I'm showing you how to do something. And I want you to plug in your own aesthetic and think about your own content. Okay, so these are in place. There'll be no accidents. They may be a little paint sort of like, actually, you know what I'm gonna do? See how there's a little play here? That can work toward you and it can work against you. If it's moving around like this, the paint will sort of crawl underneath. And to limit that, I'm gonna just try and tape it. Let's see if it limits it. Since I have that hole there, I can tape through it and see if it stays put. Okay, I've got my clean area. This is my backyard table. And you can see I have it covered with a twister mat. You all probably remember Twister. I was gonna throw this out because my kids don't play Twister anymore, but I thought, okay, this is the perfect way to cover something up and end up having a clean working space. However, I'm not gonna spray on this surface. I would use cardboard and cut up my stencil here. We'll print on top of this splat mat too, but I don't want to spray around brick or furniture or anything like that. I want to spray, I'm gonna put my cardboard, my working station here on the lawn, which might sound silly, but these are water-based inks. Doesn't hurt grass to have water-based paint on it. And so that's where I'm gonna spray. Okay, so I'm suited up. I've got my cooking apron, right? I don't need a studio apron because I'm at home. I've got vinyl gloves. You can wear dishwashing gloves. You can wear nitrile gloves, like if you have some doctor's gloves. And I'm going to spray through my stencil. I'm going to use two different colors, right? So I've got black, I think I've got black, and I've got gray. We'll see what I've got. These are not, oh, here we go. Neutral gray and carbon black. And these are small cans, but they will completely sustain you for the project, right? You'll have plenty here. And again, I'm asking you to make 12 pieces. And out of those 12, you will pick 6 that you really like and you turn into me. Okay, so I'm gonna start with gray. And I'm starting that because it's lighter in value. Uh-oh, let's see if I can get this going here. I'm starting with gray because it's lighter in value. And remember, this is water-based, but I'm wearing this stuff for easy cleanup. Now let's see how this goes. You want to make sure that you're spraying, of course, on a day that it's not raining and on a day when it's not windy. And today pretty much qualifies as that. The air's moving around a little bit, not a whole lot. And this has kind of popped back up a little bit, so we'll see. The stencil will not be quite as tight, meaning the lines won't be they'll be a little bit blurrier around the stencil. And that's okay. I mean, sometimes that looks fantastic. All right, I'm gonna paint the middle here just to sort of, you know, change things around a little bit. Gonna get super black there. Okay, now let's see what happened. Another reason why I'm having you do 12 works is because there are going to be mess ups. I'm gonna have to say, I think this looks awesome. Looks like I taped over it a little bit, which I'll fix with another run. But I'd say this is one kick-ass stencil print. It's the beginning of something. And you can see it's shiny, it's wet, and it needs time to dry. Okay, so I'll set it out here in the sun to dry, and I'll work on it another day. Okay? The stencil can dry too, just air dry. And I'm going to show you one more thing. All right, so this is a piece, or the beginning of a piece, I started the other day. It has all 3 colors, red, yellow, and blue here, and just red and yellow here. And of course you can see that there are stencils that have been used within these forms. So it took several different applications and different drying times. And now what I want to do is I'm going to add some neutral gray and some black to finish this and kind of put these two into separate places. Okay, so what I'm going to do is pretty basic. I'm going to cover up this sort of cloud form because I want to differentiate and basically sort of put this in a different space. Here's my tape. I'm going to secure it. I could opt to not secure it. Maybe I'll just do that. We'll see how it looks with a little blur. Okay, neutral gray. I want to move this out of the way. I don't want to add to that right now. Okay. And I'm just going to do a little tiny, just a little spritz, as they say, just like that. Just an itty bitty shade darker, because I don't want to make this yellow thing super dark. I just want to show, okay, this is different from where the cloud shape is. So let's see how that looks. Right? Looks agreeable. And I'm going to do one last thing. Now, I'm running a risk here. Ideally, I should let this dry. Okay, but for the sake of the demo, I want to show you how I choose to finish this off. I like this speckle, but I want to do something really strong on one side. So I'm going to essentially block off everything but this little band here. And I'm going to use my black to make a kind of a ground, or to weight one side. And we'll see, that might finish it off. If not, I keep adding. Okay. Nice black band, heavy application. so it sort of plays against the light application of the other one. And this is taped down. Actually, I'll let it dry there, but you can see I've got a variety of colors based on what I have. Now let me get out of the way here, based on what you have in your kit. And then I have some neutrals to kind of change the space and something to weight it down. And again, you don't need to work abstractly. Work the way you want to work, but try to use all the colors in your packs to have a wide palette and to make the most of the limitations that I've given you. Okay, thank you.